Okay guys, so today I worked on Justice a little bit and I got a how-to video showing you how to shorten your Yoshimura exhaust. Hey you guys, so I've been giving Dusty a lot of attention lately. So it's time that we give Justice a little bit of love. My primary focus today is this. It looks so bad. It follows the same flow and angle of the tailpiece, but it sticks out past the tire. I can eliminate both of these issues at the same time, take the mounting bracket off, and remove the springs holding the muffler onto the pipe. Just started inspecting it a little bit more closely and see what options I have. Okay, so you're going to want to pick a drill bit that will just barely be larger than the inside of the rivet, because you don't want to damage the holes going into the end cap here. You need to put rivets back in it to hold it in place again. So I found one that's just about the right size, and if it turns out it's not big enough, you just go put a bigger one in. But oh my god. I'm not gonna be able to do this today. Start small. You can always go bigger. I'm done, you guys. I'm done. Okay, I'm gonna try and drill one of these out for you while I am filming. I don't know how well it's gonna work. So just go slow. Just put a little bit of pressure. You don't want to put too much pressure on the drill bit, and you don't want the drill bit to get too hot. This isn't the sharpest drill bit in the box. Alright, this is really hard to do while holding the phone. Okay, so you know you've popped it when it starts to spin like this, when the whole thing is spinning. I'm going to get all these off and show you the next step. Okay, so now I've got all the rivets out and I took the ring off. And as you see here, I crammed an X-Acto knife down in here, in between the end cap and the outer casing. And they have a sealant to help prevent any exhaust gas from leaking out of the outside here. So we just need to break that bond so that we can wiggle the end cap out. I broke the blade off on my X-Acto knife and I don't know where my spares are. So we're just going to move on to the next step and deal with the end cap at a later point. It's going to be a little bit more nerve-wracking this way, but we're going to do it. So I took the mounting bracket and I put it back on here because it's supposed to sit nice and flush and square on the pipe. So what I'm going to do is take the tape measure and measure the points all the way around to make sure it's the same distance. And on this, it is 5.5 inches from where the line's going to be cut to the end. So my next step is I'm going to take some electrical tape and wrap it right around the edge here to use as a guide, because I don't want to accidentally cut the hanger bracket. So the electrical tape will be my guide for making the cut. Okay, as you guys can see, here's the electrical tape, like I said, and here's my cut right alongside it. And this is really thin, so I didn't have to go very deep just to break that loose. Now it's moving around a bit. What I'm going to do is try and just pull that off. Hold on to it with my legs and just kind of wiggle it off here. Over here, where you can see me wiggling it off. Okay. Alright. Okay. So there is the end cap. Removed. Here's all that batting. Okay, so I got all the batting cut off. I just used a razor blade to cut the edges off here. And I pat it down in there. It's going to be a really snug fit. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this. It's a chainmail, basically, holding steel wool onto there. I'm just going to cut it along the 5.5 inch mark here with the cutoff wheel. Okay, so I got this piece cut off, and as you see, it is a reducer to slide inside of this. And on here, it kind of just slides right over it. It's not very snug. And this is supposed to go right inside there. I'm going to cut this baffle off of here, and then I'm going to just tack weld the reducer onto here. So when I slide it in, the reducer will go inside of the baffling. Okay, so I've got it all together. Now I just have to push this all the way in to where the ridge is here. You can see where it used to be flush. And then when I set this on here, I can drill my holes. Everything's in where it should be. So now I'm gonna put this back on here. So I'm gonna drill my first hole right here and hope that everything works out. Okay, what I'm gonna do is test this pop rivet here. I'm gonna pop rivet this first one in place. Okay, first one's in there nice and snug. Now I'll hold this while I drill the next one. If you take your time, you can make it look really good, and people aren't going to look at it twice. They're going to just think that you bought it that way. Keep pulling it nice and snug as you're going along. And a tip for while you are putting pop rivets in, because this thing's going to jerk off. Oh my god. This thing's going to jerk on you when it pops. So when you're getting, after you do a few of them, you'll feel it, but you just kind of pull upward. That way, when it does snap off, you're pulling away and not slamming back down into it and causing scratches or damage. So I'm just going to keep drilling and wrapping this. Alright, I'm down to the last one here. Alright, so there she is. My shortened yoshi pipe. Alright, I'm going to mount this on here and we'll fire the bike up here in a minute. So I wound up cutting a total of 5.5 inches off of my pipe. We'll go do a sound test. This looks like a good spot. Alright, so there she is, my shortened pipe. But she's so sexy now. Without that giant fucking... Oh, you want to hear it? Start it up so you can hear what it sounds like before. Granted, I'm in my shed, so it's going to be louder than it actually is. Okay, now just for shits and giggles with the muffler off of there. Okay. Yeah, it sounds a little bit more aggressive now. But that's it for now. I've got some more modification videos coming up in a while, so just check back often. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of cool stuff with Justice and Dusty, as you've seen. Justice is going to be getting a pretty big makeover throughout the year.
Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. I hope you had as much fun watching it as I did putting it together. Don't forget, if you haven't already, go down, click the subscribe button, you'll get all the updates when I put something new up here, and it happens a lot. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you in the next video. I'm going to take some electrical tape and wrap it, because this thing's going to jerk off. It is 5.5 inches, so when I slide it in, you'll feel it. Alright, I'm going to mount this, push this all the way in. I didn't have to go very deep, and if it turns out it's not big enough, you just go put a bigger one in. Wiggling it off. Damn you, stop it. I'm not going to be able to do this today.